Hello and welcome to Fulgrim's Introductory Guide to Eternal Crusade. Today I'm going to cover the mechanics of how to play the game: movement, shooting, cover and melee. This is going to be a very basic guide, as I'm not going to go into any of the more detailed uses, nor any of the tactics or how and when to do things. Just simply what buttons to press to do what. Let's start with movement. Eternal Crusade uses the standard WASD controls by default: forward, back, strafe left and right with mouse lock. There's no leaning, that function is carried out automatically via the cover system. It is important to understand that your character has inertia. You don't start moving at full speed, it takes a few moments to speed up to that. You also don't stop immediately, and you turn in a small circle rather than change direction immediately. This can sometimes make navigating sharp turns tricky, such as making a U-turn to go up some steps. All classes within a faction have the same top speed, but heavies take longer to get up to speed and have a slower gait, so it seems like they move slower. There is no jump in the game. Instead, space will make your character perform a dodge of some kind, a flip for Eldar, and a shoulder roll for Loyalist, Chaos Marines and Orcs. Heavies are once again less agile and get a short hop instead. Each dodge consumes 1 stamina. Starting characters have 2 stamina total, and so can only dodge twice without letting it regenerate. It's worth noting that stamina will not regenerate while you're sprinting. When you move near certain types of low terrain, you'll be prompted at the bottom of the screen to vault. Pressing space will vault you over the terrain. You can also climb terrain that is a short distance above your head. Once again, you'll be prompted at the bottom of the screen, and pressing space will climb. Heavies cannot climb at all. Jump pack troops, such as jump pack assaults, swooping hawks, raptors and storm boys, all use the same movement mechanics, but instead of dodging, the spacebar activates their jump pack. Tapping it will boost evade, which serves the same purpose as a dodge, but holding it will take you into the air. For all but the swooping hawks, this is a short jump, and pressing your melee button will slam you down where the red target is on the ground. This deals damage to enemies and staggers friend and foe alike. While in the air, you can boost again to maintain altitude. Swooping hawks use a glide mechanic instead of jumping. By pressing and holding jump, you will leap into the air and glide forward for a short time. Aiming your weapon while in the air will reduce your forward speed significantly, but you will maintain your altitude. Instead of stamina, jump troops use fuel for their boosts. It's an oversimplification, but you can consider stamina and fuel to work the same to begin with. Moving on to shooting. Aside from any of the different weapon fire modes, there are 2 forms of shooting in Eternal Crusade: hipfire and aim down sights, or ADS. Hipfire is quite inaccurate and significantly affected by recoil. ADS is more accurate and controls recoil better, but reduces your field of view, slows you to a walk, and reduces your tracking speed. There are 2 types of aiming that you can bind: hold and toggle. Hold to aim requires you to hold the key to aim, and releasing it returns you to hipfire. Pressing the aim toggle brings you into ADS, and you remain in that mode until you press the aim toggle key again. In addition to aiming, heavy weapons can also brace. When near certain points of low cover, you'll be prompted at the bottom of the screen, and pressing the aim button will brace your weapon on that portion of cover. Braced fire is more accurate and suffers from less recoil, but you can only look in a slightly less than 180-degree arc, and some cover will prevent you from looking down at all. In order to unbrace, you'll need to move away from that cover, as pressing aim will zoom instead of toggling brace on and off. As just mentioned, while braced, pressing the aim button again will zoom you in. This will reduce your field of view even further, but allow for longer range accuracy. The same rules for holding or toggling aim work when braced. While braced, your lower body is in cover, but your upper body and head is not, making you vulnerable to headshots, especially from anyone shooting down on you. Eternal Crusade has a simple cover system that is largely handled automatically. Simply move near cover and you'll be moved into a cover position and your camera angle will change to accommodate. For tall cover, this places your back to the wall and strafing will move you along the cover unless you move away from it first. For low cover, just the camera angle changes depending on the surrounding terrain. You can crouch behind low cover, but this needs to be done actively with a key press. To shoot over or around cover, simply press the aim key or start shooting. This will peek you out of cover, exposing you to enemy fire, but allowing you to shoot. Releasing the aim key will return you to cover, as will just stopping firing. Heavies can crouch in low cover, but cannot use the tall cover system, and must brace in order to shoot over low cover. Eternal Crusade has a mix of shooting and melee combat. You have 2 melee keys that give you 3 basic melee attacks. Pressing melee attack will give you a fast attack, while holding it and releasing it will give you a power attack. The second button will give you a parrying blow, which for historical reasons is commonly called the defensive bash, or D-bash. Melee follows what is called a rock paper scissors model, or RPS, where a fast attack beats a power attack, which beats a parrying blow, which beats a fast attack. Beating means that you clang, where no damage is dealt to you, but it is to your weapon durability. Once your weapon breaks, you are staggered and pretty much free game. You will hear a smashing sound when this happens, and you can track your weapon durability via the UI element that looks like a sword to the right of your character. Don't worry, your weapon doesn't actually break, it will regenerate if you somehow live. There are also tiers to the weapons, where higher tier weapons have an advantage over lower tiers in a clan. In ascending order, the tiers are roughly knives, then swords and axes, then maces, then fists and claws. There's a lot more to the melee system that I'm not going to cover, this is not my area of expertise. The forums have some good resources, and there are some Steam guides as well, which I've linked below. Thank you for watching my guide. I hope you found it useful in your first forays into Eternal Crusade. If you did find it useful, or have any comments, let me know below and give me a thumbs up or subscribe.